Rolling.
Alrighty, this is the introduction to the use of the digital refractometer, the Milwaukee MA887, shown here. Okay, and before I start with how to use this one, I thought I would just show you the old kind of refractometer. This is somewhat beat up. The usual kind of refractometer, and what you do is you put your water here on this plate, close the plate, and then you look in the eyepiece like a little telescope, and you see a scale that has refractive index or salinity or however the instrument is designed. These are kind of hard to use, so therefore I found a nice digital version right here, which is even easier, and it's extremely easy to use. So to use this, you turn it on, and you see all eights and everything, and it goes through a test, and then you just see the 4 lines and the temperature, 21.3 or 21.4 in this case. Okay. Now notice here's the range switch, and if you push the range, you see it says PSU and then goes to the lines. Push it again, it says PPT and goes to the lines. Push it again, it says SG. That means specific gravity. Okay. We want to put it on the PSU scale, which means practical salinity unit. Okay. Now the first thing we do after it zeros, after you see these lines, is you take some deionized water and you just fill this little cup right here, like that. That's probably more than you need. And then you push 0, and it zeros. Okay. And after it zeros, you can just dump off that water in my lap and clean off the plate, dry off the plate, and then you take some seawater. Now you'll get your seawater from the boat basin. I just happen to have some here that I had before, and you take a past your pipette and suck some up, and then dispose of that in, the portable sink. And since you get the water from the boat basin, you can rinse the pipette out several times, and then fill the little well with your seawater and push read. And this is reading, gosh, this is reading 35. Now notice that it only reads to the nearest part per thousand. That's as good as you can do with refractometry, for reasons that I'll talk about in class. But basically, the refractive index of seawater doesn't change very much over the whole range of temperature and salinity. And so the nearest part per thousand is about as good as you can do. So this is reading 35. It will read whatever it reads, whatever the salinity is. But in this case, it just happened to be 35. Strange. All right, once that's done, then you can, you can clean it off and try it again, just to make sure. Oh, I'm sorry, I screwed up. Once you do that, now note I shouldn't have cleaned that off, so just forget about that. Right? Then you push range again, and until it says SG, and then it will give you a number 1.0 something, and that's the specific gravity, 1.027 in this case. Supposedly corrected to 25 degrees Celsius. So what we'll do is we'll take this specific gravity and the salinity and the temperature, 21.5, and follow the written instructions, and you'll compare to see if the density, or this is close to the density. You'll see if the salinity and temperature give you a density which is close to this. Okay. And that is all that the refractometry requires. It's very, very easy. The advantage to refractometry is that it's very fast, and you can use just a very small amount of seawater. The disadvantage is, of course, that it's not very precise, and that's it.